keep it moving, and I am gonna blow up your spot one of these days.
Nicki Minaj launched a full-on social media attack on Jay-Z, accusing him of owing her up to $200 million from the Tidal sale, and using Roc Nation to blackball her career, while Jay-Z hasn't responded to any of her claims. Nicki has only pushed harder, saying she even pulled up on her with receipts, allegations, and zero chill. Here's what's on the table: the Tidal bag, the $200 million claim, and the Super Bowl snub. It all starts with the money, because that's what sparked this whole situation between Nicki and Hov. We're not talking a few racks or some small label dispute, but hundreds of millions of dollars. To get where Nicki is coming from, you've got to go back to 2015, when Jay-Z launched Tidal, the streaming platform he framed as the artist-owned alternative to Spotify and Apple Music, a supposedly revolutionary space where creators actually ate from the table they built. Jay brought in some of the biggest names in music to co-sign the Vision Beyonce, Rihanna, J. Cole, Kanye West, Madonna, and, importantly, Nicki Minaj. Each artist was given a 3% equity stake in the company in exchange for dropping exclusive content, promoting the platform to their fan bases, and riding for the brand. Nicki did exactly that. She went hard for Tidal, second only to Beyoncé in how actively she promoted it, pushing it on her socials and dropping exclusives. She pulled up to that now iconic launch event, posing with Usher, Rihanna, Madonna, and the rest of the lineup, looking like they were all about to take over the entire music streaming game. The energy in that room was real. These artists truly believed they were building something that would change the industry forever. But this is where things went left. In 2021, Jay-Z sold a majority stake in Tidal to Jack Dorsey's company Square, now known as Block, for around $32 million in cash and stock. That's a huge bag, a legendary payday. And if you run the numbers on Nicki's 3% equity, she should have cleared somewhere around $9 million. At the very least, that's just simple math. But according to Nicki, she didn't see a single red cent, not even a penny. She says Jay-Z's team tried to hand her just $1 million, one lonely million, to basically keep quiet and vanish. She called it a slap in the face, an insult, straight up robbery in broad daylight. On X, she laid it out for everyone. We've calculated about 100 to 200 million so far. #JZ called me to settle this karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You still in my top 5. Though, let's get it. And anybody still calling him Hov gonna have to answer to God for that blasphemy. The Breakfast Club crew also had something to say and kept it all the way real. They pointed out what a lot of people in the culture were thinking but not saying out loud. If somebody really owes you $200 million, why are you tweeting about it instead of taking them to court?
I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X. And I guarantee you, if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
And that's a fair question. So far, there's no lawsuit, no legal filings, no court dates, just tweets. But those tweets were calculated. Nicki didn't just throw out random accusations hoping something would land. She laid out what she framed as a full case against Jay-Z's whole operation, step by step. She went as far as accusing him of damaging nearly everything the culture holds dear: hip-hop, football, basketball, touring, Instagram, Twitter. She posted, "Dave, fight Jay-Z. You ruined hip-hop. You ruined football. You ruined basketball. You ruined touring. You ruined Instagram. You ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only." The Breakfast Club crew had a field day with that one. The whole studio was cracking up.
#Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And she also is saying, she's mentioning Desiree, who is one of Jay-Z's.
You might as well say Jay-Z's the head of Doge. Jay-Z invaded Gaza. You might as well just come on, add some more to that.
Under all the jokes and memes, the Tidal money issue is actually serious. If Nicki Minaj really held a 3% equity stake in a company that sold for $32 million, and she was offered just $1 million to stay quiet when, by her math, she should have seen closer to $9 million at minimum, and even more when you factor in her promo and brand value, if that's a big problem. That's not a simple misunderstanding between artists that looks like getting played on a corporate level, which in the streets is a straight violation. Nicki also said that once she gets that money from Jay-Z, she plans to put it into her Chakran Student of the Game charity, a fund to help fans pay tuition and student loans. So in her view, Jay-Z isn't just taking from her, he's taking from the Bobs and from students who need that money for school. That angle changes the whole tone, turning a business dispute into a mission. And the title situation wasn't the only thing upsetting her, there's also the Super Bowl. In September 2024, the NFL announced that Kendrick Lamar would headline the Super Bowl 59 halftime show in New Orleans. For anyone who knows hip-hop even a little, that felt like a slap in the face to one person in particular, Lil Wayne. Wayne is New Orleans born, raised, and celebrated there. He's the heartbeat of the city and widely seen as one of the top 5 rappers of all time, and the Super Bowl was literally in his backyard. Everybody in the culture assumed Wayne was getting that sloat it felt locked in. Lil Wayne, New Orleans, Super Bowl, that writes itself. But Rock Nation co-produces the Apple Music NFL halftime show, so Jay-Z's hands are all over those calls. When Kendrick's name dropped instead of Wayne's, people started asking questions. Nicki snapped. She went on X and fired straight at Jay-Z, accusing him of denying a young black man what he earned in the game purely out of ego and his issues with Birdman, saying his problems with Birdman, Drake, and Nicki was spilling over into punishing Lil Wayne. She called Wayne the GOAT and shouted out NOLA. She even brought up Eminem, pointing out how him insisted on bringing 50 Cent out a white man, as she put it to show he stood by his day one. The message was clear. In her eyes, a white artist showed more loyalty to his people than Jay-Z did to his. Whether you side with Nicki or not, that hit a nerve. Wayne getting passed over for the Super Bowl in his own city rubbed a lot of folks wrong. Bobs, street legends, industry vets, casual fans. Everybody had an opinion. Nicki painted it as part of a bigger pattern. Jay-Z using Rock Nation's power to ice out anyone tied to her circle. Wayne, Drake, Birdman, and Nicki herself. The Super Bowl snub was the most visible, most public example, and it set the stage for everything that came crashing down after. Now, here's the key thing a lot of people miss when they see Nicki going at Jay-Z on social media. This isn't some random Twitter beef between two strangers who never met. These two have history, deep, layered, complicated history that goes back over 15 years, and that's exactly what makes the current Fallout hit so much harder and feel so personal. Rewind to 2009. Kanye West drops Monster, and the feature list is stacked Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Bon Iver, and a young Nicki Minaj who was still building a buzz on the mixtape circuit. But when that track hit the streets, it wasn't Jay or Ross that had everyone losing their mindset, was Nicki. She obliterated that beat. Her verse on Monster is still widely seen as one of the greatest guest appearances in hip-hop history, and it announced to the world that she was not here to play second fiddle to anybody. Not even Hov. Jay-Z clearly recognized her talent early, before she became a mainstream superstar. He reportedly tried to sign her to Rock Nation, saw the potential, the star power, and wanted her on his roster. But Nicki chose loyalty over clout. She went with Lil Wayne and Young Money instead, sticking with the people who discovered her, nurtured her, and gave her a shot when nobody else would. Some insiders say choosing Wayne over Jay sparked the first tension between Nicki and Havasi that grew over years into the conflict we see today. Despite turning down the Rock Nation deal, Jay-Z still supported her. In 2010, he recommended her for Robin Thicke's Shaking It for Daddy, which he called one of her most exciting early cosigns. That same year, she performed with Jay-Z and Eminem at Yankee Stadium during the Home and Home series, becoming the first female rapper to do so. Nicki has consistently praised Jay-Z as a major influence in her career.
You've also said that Jay-Z, Foxy Brown, and Lil Wayne were some of your biggest influences when you were coming up. What did each of them have that you wanted to emulate?
Jay-Z, business savvy. Foxy Brown, immaculate delivery. Lil Wayne, trendsetter.
That's what Nicki admired most about Jay-Z. Not just his bars, but his mind and his ability to turn rapping into an empire. She saw him as a blueprint for how a rapper from the project could become a billionaire mogul without losing street credibility, even modeling her 2014 album The Pink Print after his Blueprint series. Over the years, their relationship stayed cordial and professional. Seated together at the 2012 BET Awards, side by side at the 2015 title launch, and receiving congratulatory flowers from Jay-Z and Beyoncé when she earned her 2022 MTV Video Vanguard Award. Warmth and respect marked their interactions, but somewhere along the line, admiration turned into animosity, and a protege's respect became a full-blown social media conflict. The cracks really started to show around 2021, right after the title sale went through and the checks didn't hit the way Nicki believed they should. That's when she first began hinting in public that she'd been cheated out of her fair share. By September 2024, those subtle hints turned into open accusations aimed directly at Jay-Z and his whole machine. By July 2025, she was tweeting specific dollar amounts, $100 million, $200 million, dropping names, tagging people, and daring anyone to call her bluff in public. But it didn't stay just about the money. Nicki began going at Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez by name, calling her Deseret, and questioning everything from her Trump pardon on narcotics charges to whether she's even qualified to run one of the most powerful management companies in the business. Nicki accused Roc Nation of blackballing artists who wouldn't fall in line, poaching talent from rival labels using shady tactics, running bot farms to tank her engagement online, and quietly manipulating Billboard chart numbers. She claimed they sabotaged a documentary because she spoke on the abuse she faced in the industry, and said they dragged their feet on her projects hoping she'd bleed money and eventually come crawling back for help. These aren't light charges theory accusations of a coordinated effort to destroy a career. DJ Academics broke it down on his show and emphasized just how deep and how one-sided this whole public war had become.
Nicki is launching a piggyback attack on Jay, and we all know, if you haven't, to refresh your memory about why she doesn't like Jay, she claims that Jay, finessed her with the title situation. She also made a claim that Jay-Z owes Nicki Minaj $200 million, right? Now, if you watched her tweets over the last year or so, especially after she's also attacked Jay-Z's company's Roc Nation CEO, Desiree Perez, she's basically accused them of really doing some heinous things or trying to do some heinous things to her. So this is a really deep public feud at this point. Jay-Z's never acknowledged it.
Academic's last point is key. Jay-Z hasn't acknowledged any of this, not a tweet, not a Roc Nation press release, not a subliminal in a voice, not even a cryptic story on Instagram. Total radio silence. Some people read it as Hall staying above the drama, keeping his composure, refusing to dignify the chaos with a response. That's one way to see it. But others, and Nicki is firmly in this group, take the silence as a kind of confirmation. Their thinking is, if someone is publicly saying you owe them $200 million and you never even deny it, what does that look like to the streets? Either you're so sure the claims are nonsense they don't deserve air, or there's just enough truth in there that answering would only make things worse and invite real scrutiny. The arc of their relationship plays out like a hip-hop Shakespeare story: admiration, collaboration, mutual gain, then all-out scorched earth war. And through it all, Jay-Z's silence might be the loudest thing in the whole saga. The Grammy meltdown, the political pivot, and what comes next. If you thought the title money claims and the Super Bowl rant were peak Nicki Minaj versus Jay-Z, buckle up, because the 2026 Grammys took things to a whole new level. This wasn't just another industry beef. It was a cultural earthquake, and Nicki was at the epicenter, phone in one hand, conviction in her heart, and zero regrets in the other. February 1st, 2026, at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Every major artist was there except Nicki. She wasn't nominated, performing, or presenting, yet she dominated the conversation online. Google Trend confirmed she was the most searched artist during the broadcast. It all ignited when host Trevor Noah took a pointed, calculated shot at her in the opening monologue, with the music industry's elite watching under the arena lights.
Oh man, every single person here, John Legend, Billie Eilish, Phineas, Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here.
Thumbs up happen.
She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it, baby.
And throwing her head back in laughter, John Legend grinning ear to ear, and the audience devouring it like dessert at a banquet. The industry was collectively mocking Nicki for her political turn. Meanwhile, Nicki watched it all unfold in real time and responded with ferocity, speed, and volume of social media posts hip-hop had never seen. What followed was one of the most unfiltered, relentless, and confrontational social media onslaughts any entertainer has ever unleashed.